So every now and again, there's a movie that comes out in theaters that you have to see in IMAX. We were gonna see this in IMAX, but there had to be a fuse blow on the IMAX projector. Gosh darn it!
Is that what happened?
Yeah, apparently.
Really? That's what happened?
Yeah, that is what happened.
A fuse on the projector?
A fuse on the projector blew. Welcome to the dialogue, people, where movies are more than mindless entertainment. I'm Derek, and this is Andrew.
What's up, everybody? All of you out there.
Yeah, and today we went and saw Captain America Civil War.
Just kind of said it like you were back in the days of the American Civil War.
Yeah, a little bit. I was going for that.
I see what you did there.
Basically, this movie takes place after all the previous Marvel movies that have come out so far. If you want to catch up on the whole series, there's a lot of movies that you need to watch.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah, you're going to be there for a while. This movie takes place with Chris Evans' character, Captain America, Steve Rogers. He's on one side of the fence in terms of siding with government and government control. Mm-hmm. And then you have Iron Man, who's on another side of the fence. Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr.
And there's a lot of other characters that kind of fall on either side.
But these are the two main pivotal leaders in this this turn of events.
Right. The icons.
Yeah, so you have Steve. He doesn't feel like it's good that the government is all up in their business. Mm-hmm. He thinks that he should have the right to basically choose what to do, like in terms of like right and wrongs. And then Tony Stark is like, we need to have checks and balances on ourselves because we can't trust ourselves kind of attitude. Right. So he's like, this is a good thing to have the government over us.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where this conflict comes in, and then we watch it all unfold in beautiful 3D glory.
If that happens to be where you watch it.
Yeah, if you watch it in 3D.
I loved this. I loved the movie. I loved it. It was a fun ride, and you mentioning the themes in it, I feel like that was one thing that I would definitely say is a reason to watch the movie. Yeah. Because not only is it an interesting question, you know, it was almost felt like, you know, small government versus big government type thing. But they handled it, I feel like, really well. They presented positive viewpoints. That is, you know, how you can see how the different sides get to where they're at, and they both have a lot of right in their view.
Right.
And they don't really jam anything down your throats as far as what is correct in this situation. You should watch it for yourself, and we may talk about that in an in-depth discussion that we may or may not have in the future. And I'll also say that I mentioned the movie was fun. About the time when Iron Man spit this piece of food out of his mouth, I kind of lost it. I was just cracking up. And about that time, everybody else in the theater kind of started to just get really light up. And that was about like halfway through the movie. And then after that, it was kind of like a roller coaster of one great joke, good timing, all that jazz. So there was a lot of laughs along with action that I felt like was propelled decently by the story. I will say this. There's a couple things that I not necessarily have issues with, but that make it like not the be-all end-all movie for me. The movie is not a movie about the ideals that we talked about. It's not about the theme. It's at its core still a superhero blockbuster extravaganza. Okay?
Right.
So they could have explored the themes better. There could have been a little bit better drama in that department, and I think this correlates to the directing style too. I think it was the Russo brothers, but you don't really hear their name as like people that do great films. I think they're more well known for their television, and you can kind of see that coming out. Right. So it wasn't like we're not going to have good angles, not bad angles, but it's not going to be. They're not necessarily going to tell a story with the pictures as much as tell the story through the characters going through situations and that sort of stuff.
Right. I really, really enjoy the fact that the Marvel movies are able to bring so many characters into one movie and give them justice. Like, I feel like they do a really good job at that. even though it's like, you might be like, oh, but isn't it going to be cram-packed with all these characters? It's like, no, they're going to get their day on the screen, and then you're going to enjoy that day. You might not get as much as you would want on every single character, but it is going to be good what you do get. So I really enjoy that about the movies. And another thing that I enjoy is I enjoy the fact that they are able to present action sequences in a way that is palatable. I feel like a lot of movies do action scenes that are just so hectic and so much, and like so close,
like
and everything. Yeah, like all that jazz, and
like you can tell
so
they're not really fighting. It's more like just guys like beating up the air, kind of close to each other, like us doing this right now.
Yeah, and then if the camera was like going everywhere, it'd be like, whoa, they're hitting each other, but we're not. We're just kind of swinging our arms and flailing.
And the classic sound effects,
Right. Anyway, the movie does a good job at like filming action. A couple of the problems that I do have with the movie is that if you've seen one of the Avengers movies, I kind of feel like you've seen them all. Like that's just how I'm feeling about it. It's kind of more of just the same thing that you've seen. They have the chance to take some. I'm going to use this as might be kind of crass, but ballsy moves towards things, and
I think I know what you mean.
And they don't. Like they don't commit to certain things, and it's like, that could have been better. The movie has such a high rating that there's no other explanation than it is a people pleaser. Right. It's a people pleasing movie. That being said, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying it's not a movie that does anything that's necessarily unique. So that being said, I really enjoyed the movie, guys.
I feel like it was kind of driven by the franchise more than it was driven by like an artistic vision.
Yeah, I like the movie. I like comics, guys.
I'm gonna throw an 8 on this one. A solid 8. A solid 8.
See, I feel like I just said a lot more negative, but I'm actually gonna give it a 9. I gave Batman v Superman a 9, and I would give this a 9. I think I enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed Batman v Superman.
In different ways.
In different ways. I like them both.
That's right. Let us know your take, guys, and stay tuned for other videos that will be coming out by subscribing to the dialogue. That's right. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
And join us next time on the dialogue.